Wow, 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 wow. Hey, check it out. Coming off my Christmas party. Just had a Christmas party last night with all of my people. It was pretty crazy. It was really crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit today, why that was so crazy. We're also going to continue to open up this discussion. We've been talking about identity, right? And how our identity ultimately drives and determines many of the results are in our lives, right? Our belief systems about ourselves. And so we're going to continue to talk about that a little bit today. Eric Thomas, the one and only Eric Thomas, the number one motivational speaker in the world. Now, just to clarify, Glenn Lundy, number one speaker in America. Eric Thomas currently has the title of number one speaker in the world, which is a title we're going to have to go after. And we're going to have to take down at some point. I'm just saying. We're going to have to go after that. But he's going to join us here today as well, right here on today's episode of GM3X. So super excited to be here with you this morning. Let's dive right in because, as you know, it's time to rise and grind. Welcome to GM3X. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to 8, and the founder of the 800% Elite Club. I hope you're ready for motivation, education, inspiration, celebrity interviews, and thought-provoking conversations because it's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Thursday. That's right. Today is Thursday, December 22nd. Oh my goodness. December 22nd. You know what that means? You're running out of time on that Christmas shopping. If you haven't gotten it done, you better find some time today, Glenn Lundy. You might want to find some time today, right? So today is Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. Now that's a lot of twos also. 12, 22, 2022. Wow, that's pretty special. What a special day. I didn't even realize that till just now. 12, 22, 2022. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be 12, 22, 2022. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible day. Hey, I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky. That's right, my home state. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where it is, we're looking at a decent day today. We're looking at a high of 46 degrees is what they said today. So I'm whoa, that's loud. I'm pretty happy about that, right? Pretty happy about a 46 degree day today. Now, tomorrow, they're saying we're going to have a high of 3. Yeah, a high of 3. No, thank you. I'll pass. I think tomorrow we might be doing the show from Glenn Lundy's basement because he refuses to leave the house. No, I'm just kidding. We'll see where we're at tomorrow. But 3 degrees. Are you kidding me? But that's what's going on right here in Lexington. And this week, we have been in a series called Happy Birthday. And we've been examining ourselves through the lens of identity. Now, if you remember earlier in the week, we defined identity as the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Not to be confused with what you do. Because what you do does not define who you are. And we tend to get that mixed up quite a bit, right? People are like, well, who are you? You're like, I'm a firefighter. Who are you? I'm a salesperson. Who are you? I'm a consultant. That's not who you are, right? What you do is not who you are. And so this week, since it has been Glenn's birthday, which my mom was teasing me because she's like, you're making sure everyone knows it's your birthday. I'm like, heck yeah, man. I turned 45 years old this week, and I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it, so I shout it from the rooftops. But since it is my birthday week, we've been doing a series called Identity, because I personally have been doing a lot of reflecting, like Jude was just talking about in Breakfast with Champions. She was just talking about how in December, it's time for her to reflect. The second half of December, she really reflects on the year. And when you turn 45, it's one of those little milestone birthdays where you're no longer early 40s and you're headed into your late 40s. And through that reflection, I was blessed to say, like, hey, at 45, I got a pretty clear idea of who I am. I didn't used to, but I do now. And so we've been doing a show around identity, and my promise to you was that by the end of the week, there would be some sort of impact on you that would help move you towards that identity that creates an ultimately a better, an increased, a higher level of awareness and achievement for you, right? And so this week we've been going through that. We've been examining that, understanding the definition of identity, who you believe you are. Who you are, not what you do. Big difference, right? That was earlier in the week. Now, yesterday we tied this idea of who you are. Yesterday we tied it to our legacy. Like, what mark are you going to leave behind? Who you are in this life ultimately determines the mark we leave after this life, right? That legacy piece. And so we talked about who, and we talked about what, mark, and today we're going to add another layer. Today we're going to add the layer of when. When, I get this all the time, but when are you going to be able to elevate your awareness to a level? When are you going to be able to elevate your awareness to a level that breaks the plane of your current understanding and catapults your life forward? When? When, Glenn? People ask me that all the time. My team will ask me when we're going to break through to another level. My kids will ask me, when, Dad, when? When do we get to do that thing? When will we have be able to, they're still all asking, when can I have a phone? None of my kids have a phone, by the way. When are we going to be able to elevate our awareness to a level that breaks the plane of our current understanding and catapults our lives forward? Well, today I am going to answer that question for you specifically. I am going to tell you exactly to the moment when you are going to have that breakthrough that ultimately is going to take you to a new place. I am going to tell you exactly when that's going to happen. It's like a magic trick, right? You know, the magic tricks, they're like, okay, so you're going to pick a number and I'm going to tell you exactly what number it is, right? Except for this isn't no magic trick. I am going to tell you exactly when you are going to break through to levels far beyond your wildest imagination. Does that sound fair? Awesome. All right, before we do though, you know what we got to do? You know, we got to do some dancing on the show, and I can already tell, I'm glad you got your planner yesterday, Alicia Watts. I can already tell that Facebook is messing with our feed today. And so I'm going to need a huge favor, all my Facebook peeps. I'm going to need you to hit that share button right away. Go ahead and share that out. I'm also going to need you to tag some friends. I'm getting messages. People cannot find the feed. Funny how such a positive show that we have here gets throttled all of the time. But let me do a show on something political, something divisive, something violent, right? Let's do a show on that. There'd be 16,000 people Facebook will push this thing out to. So do me a huge favor, Facebook. Make sure you tag your friends so they can find today's episode. I would greatly appreciate it. Also over on Clubhouse, This is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. Look, Vicky Everett couldn't even find it. Vicky Everett watches this show every single day and has for 4 years. 4 years. How would it not show up in her feed? How does that make any sense at all? Crazy. But guess what? We keep on keeping on, right? We keep on keeping on. This is also the part of the show where I need you to say good morning to me. And I'm going to say good morning to you. I'm in the Twitter files. That's right, Rick. This is the part of the show where you say good morning to me. I say good morning to you. Whether you're watching live or watching on replay, say what's up. I'll say what's up back. Good morning, Mr. Ramon Ray. Great to see you, sir. How you doing, James Boardwine? I'm glad you're here today. Gail B. Craft, thanks for being here. I hope everything's going well. I know you guys have been busy. Gail and Vicky decided to go all in. The Twang sisters decided to go all in on their business and the products that they bring. And this is a busy season. Christmas time. That's what happens when you make an incredible product, right? Gail and Vicky have this incredible product. They have the ability to go in and personalize all the gifts for anybody that you love. They actually go on their Facebook pages, they research them, and they find what they truly love, and they do personalized gift baskets specific to that person. Mine was full of like big bowls and big spoons and a bunch of cereal. So I hope you guys are doing well, Vicky and Gail. I'm sure this is a busy season for you. If you guys haven't ever twanged anybody, contact Vicky Everett or Gail B. Craft. Just go ahead and contact them. I don't know if they can get back to you right now. I'm sure they're so busy, but contact them. Maybe you could do New Year's gifts for people next year, all right? Good morning, Yolanda. Good morning, Debbie Dowling Waba. Glad you're here. Soul Salcedo's in the building. Bella Rigby is up in here as well. Good morning, Bella. I think Bettina might be up in here. I don't know if I see her or not, but I want Bettina to know I got your message. I got it late last night. I wasn't able to respond. Girl, no. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You and I are sisters and brothers. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of your insights and your wisdom and your kind words. So thank you for that. David Hill, it's great to see you today in the building. I see Yin is up in here as well. Thanks for being here from all the way on the other side of the world, right? Brian is here, Babs is here, Miranda's here, Raquel is in the building. She always sends me the most encouraging messages. Jonathan is in the building. Looks like he has some sort of new bored ape angel virgin or something like that. I see Felicia is in the building. How you doing, Lauren? We've got Tom Popelka and Kevin Badley. Leslie Cox is in the building. Hey, all of you. Hey, real quick. Lean in. Thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And I greatly appreciate you. Fair. All right, cool. Now, with that said, if you haven't already, I want to run with you in next year. And the best way for us to run together in 2023 is for you to get a Morning 5 planner. Nathaniel Banks on his way to the gym. Get yourself a Morning 5 planner. The heck are you thinking? You're watching the show, you don't have the planner. It's like watching picture pages and not having the little coloring book. You're crazy. So go to themorning5planner.com, themorning5planner.com. Order your Morning 5 planner right now. We've been shipping them out all over the world over the last few weeks. My wife was like, bro, next year, somebody else is shipping the planners. I'm like, all right, fair. Bet. Right? But they're awesome. Absolutely love Morning 5 planners. These things are incredible. This is the 2023 version right here. It comes in slate or in purple. Quote at the top of every page. We're going to be book clubbing it together with an interactive QR code. Our first book is Eric Thomas's book, his new book, You Owe You. That is the first book that we're going to be doing together in 2023. So make sure you get yourself one of these, right? Make sure you get yourself one of these so that you can run with me in 2023. And speaking of Eric Thomas, he's been talking a lot about transformation lately, right? You Owe You is his dig. And so we're going to go and bring him in here just a second. We'll talk about that, and then I'll be back on the other side. Does that sound fair? Let's keep this series going. Happy birthday.
It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life. It is the movement in your mind. You're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. New year, new me. New year, new me. What separates us is transformation. The possibility of change. The desire to evolve. The passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. I'm tired of doing what I used to do. If I always do what I've always done, I'll always be where I've always been. I'm going to throw it behind me. There's somebody in this room that nobody would think would be in a church tonight, but you drew them to this place tonight because you want them to be a new me and a new year and have a new attitude and a new mind. Because the real battleground is in your mind. That's where the fight is. You lay down with it. You get up with it. You go to work with it. You can't digest your food because of it. Smiling in front of people and nobody knows that there's gunfire going off in your head. It's not a geographical location. It's not debt. It's not money. It's not haters. It's not enemies. It's not liars. It's not backbiters. That's not the battleground. Stop wasting your weapons on what people say, because it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
I dedicate this to you, to the greatness in you, and to the dream that you showed up on the planet to produce. And it's simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it, if all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulf, sickness or pain of body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God you'll get it. You have greatness in you.
Who was that video for? Drop it in the comments. I need to know. Over there on Clubhouse, if it was you over in the Clubhouse, drop it in the chat. If it was you over on Facebook or YouTube, who was that video for? Because that was actually Bishop T.D. Jakes and Les Brown. That one was for you. That was for Natasha. And that was for Angela. And that was for Jacqueline. And that was for Deborah. Wow. And that was for Debbie Dowling. Wow. That was for Leisha. That was for Sol Salcido. Wow. That was Kevin Fadley. He said that one was for him. Wow. And look, Brian said it was for him. Filmpreneur Tribe said it was for her. Regina said it was for her. Renee said it was for her. Adele said that was directly for her. Monica said that was for her. Judy said that was for her. Wow. Maria, Kimberly, Core Element said he needed that one. Firstin, Dr. Jeannie, Regina, Tanya, Annette. Wow. This is crazy. Leslie Cox said that one was for her. James Boardwine said it was for him. William Fitzgerald said that was absolutely for me. Like, how good is God, man? Because that wasn't the video I was planning on playing today. That wasn't even the video I was planning on playing today. I hit the thing. I downloaded a different video, an Eric Thomas video. And I loaded it up, and then I hit play, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's TD. That's TD Jakes. And then my first instinct was, oh, well, I need to stop it because I just told everyone it was going to be Eric Thomas, and then immediately it just washed over me. It was like, nah, man, I got this. It's what I love about this show. That's what's always been the case here in this show, is that we just roll, man. God just flows through this space all the time, you know? God just flows through this space all the time. And I am always so thankful for that. And I'm always just amazed by his ability to choreograph our words. Crazy, man. So there was this story, as a matter of fact, that I heard from Les Brown first time, long time ago, when I saw Les Brown on stage for the first time. And there was a story from Les Brown, and Les Brown was sharing this story, and there was these two boys that were playing hockey out on the ice, out kind of in a wooded area, and they were playing hockey on the ice, and one of the boys fell through. The ice broke, and the young man fell down into the water. Now, these boys were 12, 13 years old or so, and when the one boy fell in, the other young boy ran off of the lake, climbed up in a tree, and he grabbed a branch from the tree. Now, he grabbed a branch from the tree that was about 4 inches around. And he took that branch from the tree that was 4 inches around. He went back over to the lake, and he beat on the ice and broke an area, and broke a wide enough area. And he was able to pull his friend out of the water and save his life. Now, when he got there, there was, the firefighters and the ambulance and the police officers. They all got there, and the boy was okay. And there was a firefighter standing next to one of the paramedics. And the firefighter said to the paramedic, he said, dude, it's great that this kid's alive and all, but I just want to know, how did that 12-year-old kid rip a 4-inch branch off of that tree? And how was he able to go over there and break that thick ice and pull his soaking wet, freezing friend out of the water? How was he able to do that? And the paramedic looked him in the eye and said, there was nobody here to tell him he couldn't. You see, here's the reality of our lives. You will have the breakthroughs in your life. I told you at the beginning, I'll tell you when this is going to happen. You will have the breakthroughs in your life when you have to. When you have to. When you have run out of options and no one is there to tell you that you can't, that is when you will have your breakthroughs. When you let go of control of your life and let God, flow, state, beingness take the wheel, that is when you will have your breakthrough. You see, here's what it looks like for most people. I can give you an example. Here's what it looks like for most people, right? Let's just use a couple examples. So there's the person that goes out and parties, right? They like to party a lot. They party, they do all that thing. Then they get into like drugs, right? They start doing the drugs, and then the drugs become an addiction. We get an addiction to the drug, and then through that addiction, we start to make some really bad choices and really bad decisions. And then those bad choices and those bad decisions land us in a jail cell. And while we're in the jail cell, now that we are no longer in control, we completely have lost control. We have no say in when we go and when we stay. Once we've lost control, well, then miraculously, a lot of inmates find God. And through finding God, they find a new level of awareness and achievement. At least that was the case for me. Or, of course, there's the story of the black sheep. The black sheep that just disagrees with parents and family, ultimately ends up going out on their own at a very early age, maybe runs away or whatnot, or they just kind of go out on their own at an early age, and then they struggle to get by, and as they're struggling to get by, they maybe make a poor choice or some poor decisions along the way that they ultimately regret, that gives them a little feeling of shame, and so they separate themselves a little bit further from the rest of society, and next thing you know, they're just one day away from being homeless. And that day comes, and they just kind of let go completely. At least that was the case for me anyway. And when they let go completely, they realize that ultimately they're not a victim, but rather the creator of their situation. And so from there, they start to seek understanding. And they start to seek new levels of awareness. And through doing so, they find God, flow, state, beingness, and they allow it to take the wheel. Sometimes it's a health concern where somebody is on their deathbed and they have to make a change. Sometimes it's a car wreck or some sort of tragedy that alters their lifestyle and they have to make a change. Some sort of tragic accident to millions of people. It has happened to millions of people where their identity shifts because it has to. And so that brings us back to the question, Glenn, when will I have the breakthrough? And the answer is you will have it when you have to. But my guess is that some of you don't want to wait for some sort of tragedy to strike. So my guess is some of you don't want to have to go down the route of addiction. So my guess is some of you don't want to have to go through the route of homelessness. My guess is you don't want to have to go through that in order to get the result, to put you in a position to where you can let go of control and you have to change, right? My guess is you want the transformation without having to go to jail, go broke, get sick, or any other type of calamity. That's my guess, right? So how do we get the transformation without having to go through all of that? And the answer is very simple. You have to make it so that you have to. And that you have to now. You have to make it that you have to, and you have to now. So when does it happen? It happens when it has to. And when does it usually have to? It usually has to happen through tragic situations, but not anymore. In 120 seconds, because I'm way over on time, in 120 seconds, I'm going to teach you how to turn want tos. I want my life to change. I want to get to the next level. I want that level of awareness. I'm going to help you change your want tos into have tos. And the have tos into have to now. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to do this in 120 seconds. And I know I can do this in 120 seconds because I am the number one speaker in America. Because I delivered a freaking amazing 120 second keynote. All right, you ready? How do I turn want tos to have tos? Changing want tos to have tos. Number one, in order to change want tos to have tos is you have to get there has to be extreme clarity of what has to be done. Like extreme clarity. What exactly is it that has to be done in order for you to get to that next level? You got to be super clear on that. Like it can't be, oh, well, I probably need to, get back into shape, or I probably need to eat better, or I probably need to read more, I probably need to, no. We got to be super, super clear. Clarity is required in order to turn a want to a have to. Like, okay, I am going to go to this gym at this time on these days for this long. Clarity is key to change a want to a have to. We have to get rid of all confusion. That's step one. Step two is we must have another trusted human to hold us accountable. You see, when you want to change your want to into a have to without going through the tragedy, all of the other things that most people go through that create have tos in their life, you're going to have someone else on your side. You have to have an accountability partner, and it has to be someone who's trusted. Like they're not going to let you off the hook. They're not going to be nice to you. They're not going to just tell you what you want to hear. It's got to be a trusted accountability partner that's going to say, hey, look here, you lazy sack of potatoes. You're not following through on your word. You're not acting as the person you say you are. You don't have character and integrity at the level you claim to have. You're not putting in the 20 hours that you say you're doing. You're not showing up at the gym like you say you're supposed to. You got to have a trusted accountability partner in your corner to smack your little behind around. Otherwise, your want to is never going to become a have to. Now, if that means you got to hire a trainer, you got to invest, you got to spend money, I don't care. If you want your want to turn into a have to, you can't do it alone. That's what's great about this life. None of us get through this alone. And the third thing, and I'm already over 2 minutes, so maybe I still need to work on my speaking skills. But the third thing is you have to have a taste of what the other side feels like. And here's what I mean by that. You got to visualize the finish line. You see, a lot of times our want tos never become have tos because they seem very overwhelming. They seem hard. They seem difficult. They seem challenging. And so because we don't have to, we ultimately never do. But when you can step on the stage and bask in the glory of the victory that your hard work will create, it creates an energy, a positive energy, a positive flow versus a negative energy or a negative flow. And now all of a sudden those want tos become have tos because you understand that you have to do those things in order to cross that finish line. David Goggins talks about this in depth. They're like, bro, how do you run 150 miles? He's like, dude, it's torture. Every second of it is painful. I literally hate every minute of it, but I have the power to visualize myself at the end. And I know in the end, I will bask in the glory of my accomplishment and my achievement. And the energy of that basking in the glory of my accomplishment and my achievement is more, it's stronger, it's more compelling than the desire to quit. So listen, if you want to change your want tos to have tos, and you want to know exactly when that transformation is going to happen, it's 3 simple steps. Get clarity on what it is that has to change. Get an accountability partner that is going to hold you accountable to changing it. And visualize yourself on the other end. If you start with those 3 steps, you can turn your want tos into have tos, and those have tos will unlock new levels of awareness and connection to source, where you can let go of control and continue to grow to become the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. Does that sound fair? Fair. All right, I got to get out of here because I'm running late and somebody's going to get mad at me. Not quite sure who, but someone will. And so I'm going to head out. I'm going to go over to Clubhouse. We're going to talk about this a little bit more over on the Clubhouse side. So if you're watching live, you can join me over there. If you're watching on the replay, then we're on Clubhouse until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time, bringing motivation, education, inspiration. So come join us over there anytime within that, Monday through Saturday. Otherwise, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We're going to do this all over again right here on GM3X. Hope you enjoyed the show. Woo! God is good. Let's roll.
Got that old feeling that I know in the dark of the night I'll be all right. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. The sun will arise. A sea of messages overtaking what I know. A war is a whisper, and it's coming for my soul. In the dark of the night, I can see the light. The sun will arise. 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 When I was broken, you came and set me free. I was searching for someone to fight for me. I'll remember it's your light that shines on me. I won't be afraid, I will look to the light. I will not be shaken, I know it will be alright. 'Cause you're with me, I know that the sun will rise.